Hey everybody, good morning. Welcome to the very first episode of Zoho Live. In this episode today, we're going to talk about how to sustain business during challenging times such as this one. And we have Andrew Bourne here with us. Andrew is our business development head for Zoho in South Africa. So welcome to Zoho Live, Andrew.
Thank you.
Andrew, the first and foremost thought in every entrepreneur's head at this point is, how do I keep up with my business to keep it afloat? So where would you like them to begin with?
Well, I think if I talk from South Africa's point of view, businesses need to, first and foremost, maybe if they need to seek financial assistance, so either it be bank finance or any of the government support initiatives that have been opened up to them, potentially looking at the unemployment fund to assist with staff salaries. And then I think the next most important thing is to lean up your business expenses, is to do cost optimization, have a look and see what costs can be cut, and to look at complete technology solutions just to help the business run more efficiently.
With that thought in mind, Andrew, what are some of the specific challenges facing business owners, especially on the lines of sales and business development? And what do you think, what according to you are some of the best ways to address those challenges?
Well, I think going forward now is obviously technology is going to play a huge role, and digital transformation has now been accelerated due to this COVID-19 crisis. And companies are going to have to look at tech solutions to allow their staff to work from home. So to look at like digital checklists, to process mapping, workflows, blueprints, and really looking for a cost-effective technology during this time where revenues are low, and the companies that will survive this crisis will be the ones that really lean up their expenses and look to the right types of technology to grow their business going forward.
And I also think that it is a common characteristic for businesses to turn their head towards marketing only when their sales go down. But it's definitely not going to help to spam customers' inbox and a desperate hope to get more leads, So tell us a bit about some of the marketing strategies that will resonate well with people at times like this.
Well, I think, you don't want to be, sending out, text campaigns. It's going to be, it's only going to be a more of a brand exposure exercise than lead generation. There's going to be a lot of text email campaigns going out there. And I think email campaigns and social media is more of a brand exposure exercise and a lead generation exercise. The next step in the sales process is most important, which is closing that deal. And I think companies now need to focus on generating video content to educate their customers about what they're selling, their product or their service. They need to create presentations, digital presentations that they can easily send to customers, potential customers, to get them to obviously buy into the product. And I think another vitally important thing is testimonials, customer testimonials. To get custom testimonials, get video testimonials, written testimonials, have a website, have a live chat on your website. And Zoho Sales IQ is a great application to use for that, and to really offer a full tech support system so that when a customer is looking and evaluating your product or service, they can go and they can Google and they can look at your website and they can see what their customer experience has been like. And I guess the next thing is a lot of potential customers will go to social media. They'll ask their friends about your product or your service, or they'll ask which plumber should I use, or which kind of telephone system should I use. And that's where customer experience is the most important, because you want their friends, you want their connections on social media to punt your business because they had such a good experience. So it's really important that you focus on your customer experience and as well as your staff experience, because your staff experience will impact the customer's experience. So you want to work on your company culture to make sure that your staff are very, very happy and they're focused on making sure the customer experience is great. And then the customer will then, in return, then promote your brand to their friends when their friends reach out for recommendations.
Absolutely, Andrew. I agree with you 100%. Customer experience is a key area that everybody should focus on, which will ultimately result in customer retention. And I also like how you talked about the staff experience of a company reflecting in their customer experience. Those are such interesting points. And also, Andrew, I think a lot of businesses these days are transforming themselves to fit better in this situation in order to stay relevant, So, for example, apps that used to deliver food, apps we used to order food from, are now delivering groceries, and apps that used to focus on physical fitness are now talking about mindfulness and mental health. Our own local drivers are partnering with communities nearby to run some errands for them. So, according to you, at what point should a business consider putting on their multiple hats in order to stay relevant?
Well, I think first and foremost, a company must revisit their SWOT analysis, and a SWOT analysis should be a live document, and companies should revisit it on a frequent basis to go and address their strengths, their weaknesses, and to assess any opportunities or threats. And also look at forecasting. I mean, the fashion industry has been doing it for years, where they forecast where is the fashion trend going. I think all businesses need to forecast where their industry is going, where are their opportunities. We've seen a lot of, let's say, clothing manufacturers that are now manufacturing masks. And obviously the companies that jumped onto that opportunity early enough have now reaped the benefits of being first to market. And I think, it's very important for companies to do a proper forecasting and to address those opportunities.
And what would be some of the telltale signs, Andrew? When exactly can a business know this is it? Now is the time to change, instead of waiting for weeks in a row and sort of waiting for the clouds to clear and all?
Well, I think it's you want to test it out in bits and pieces. I mean, if you look at the example of, let's say, the video industry or the movie industry, it went from a video store, which you could go and rent your DVD. It moved on to the Apple Store, where you could go and buy the DVDs and rent them on the Apple Store, and eventually then you get Apple TV Plus and Netflix. So if you a video store owner way back in the day, if they had seen the future and they had got that opportunity and gone to market first, they probably would have been in a better position to compete with where the industry is going. So I think it's all about just assessing the industry and seeing and doing market research. And also addressing your staff and doing group conversations around the opportunities and getting other people's opinions really do help in making that decision as to when is the time right.
That's good advice, Andrew. Thanks for sharing it with us. And one important thing I also wanted to talk to you about was, all said and done, the strength and resilience of a company is ultimately dependent on its employees. So what are some of the qualities that companies could benefit from their employees, especially when they are working remotely?
So I think first and foremost is employees that are embracing technology. And employees that are using their own initiative to improve the running of the business. I think that is just vital, that you have employees that are focused on building the business, and also employees that are willing to work in teams. And I think one thing that I've seen in many businesses is where they appoint one person as what they call the culture captain, someone who's going to take the company culture, and that company culture can be reassessed and improved. But to really champion that specific part of the business and make sure that all the other staff members are working together, helping the business grow. And I think it's important that they use technology, like just do like a coffee chat with your team, do fun exercises using video chat, video conferencing, bring everyone together, get their ideas, and really try and kind of put an element of, each staff member must help the company grow. And I think, the most valuable staff members will be the ones that use their own initiative to put forward ideas and to really work hard at growing the business.
Amazing. Andrew, we've been discussing such serious topics so far, so I want to sort of take a pause and switch gears to discussing about this whole remote work side of things. You're an athlete yourself who's quarantined. So how are you taking care of your physical wellness and your mental wellness? And if there are any remote work etiquette that has worked best for you in all these years, please do share it with our viewers.
Yeah, so I think if I look at just kind of tips for remote working is to get used to video conferencing, to really try and deal with your suppliers or your stakeholders in your business and get them to use the video conferencing options that are out there. We have Zoho Meeting. We also have internal communication with Zoho Click. And it's important to see someone's expression on their face. You can judge their tone. And it's a lot better to have a video chat than to just have an audio chat. So I think embracing the video chat is one thing. As far as I would say physical health, I'm a Discovery member, so I have to keep up with my points. So I make sure that I get my heart rate up. I do skipping. I've got some home exercise equipment that I use to kind of keep fit and healthy. And then, I think try and make sure that you have downtime. Working from home, sometimes you can get really attached to your laptop, attached to your work. But it's best to maybe block book in your schedule, time that is downtime where you close your laptop, you take out a book, or you play a card game or a board game with a family member. And I think it's important to just have dedicated downtime.
Also, one of the things we all were concerned with when we started to work remotely was teams won't function properly if they're not sitting next to each other. Their performance would go down, their productivity would go down, and all those kind of things. When in fact, the opposite has happened. A lot of industry leaders and leadership staff from different companies have in fact confirmed that the productivity of their employees and their teams have only spiked after this whole remote work revolution. So what are your thoughts on that, and why do you think that is happening?
Yes, I've heard from many clients and customers that productivity has gone up, and I think we spend. I mean, being in lockdown, we're forced to focus on the tasks at hand. There is no distractions like maybe walking to. I mean, you walk to the kitchen, but there's no other staff members, distracting you there, or having to go out for a lunch meeting. I think we spend a lot of time in some jobs, spend time on the road. And I think now with technology, people are finding themselves way more productive because they're having to focus at the task at hand and getting it done. And a meeting is a quick click away or a phone call away. And I think that's what's making people a lot more productive.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree. And now that a lot of businesses are increasingly adopting to this remote work culture, there are also concerns about what applications should I use, which technology partner should I go after, not just on the communication and collaboration side of things, but also to choose applications that will help with their sales and customer relations and marketing side of things. So when a business goes out to choose its technology provider, what are some of the things that they'll have to be mindful about?
Okay, so one thing I have found, and I've spoken to many South African businesses and also businesses in Nigeria and Zimbabwe and Kenya, and it's important to try and get a complete technology solution and not to try and patch a whole bunch of different technologies together. If you can find one service provider that will provide you with many of the applications that you need, those applications will work more in sync than having to go and patch another service provider's application to another. And I think it's also more cost effective that way. So I think Zoho, obviously, we work for Zoho and we're passionate about the products. And I'm also a business owner. And before I joined Zoho, I run a business. So I saw the value in the Zoho products and applications. And we implemented, and now we use there are 20 applications of Zoho that we use in that business. And those applications connect perfectly and allow us to be a lot more productive. So it's important, I think, to just not patch different applications together, but really, I think, assess the applications from a technology quality point of view and also a cost point of view.
Andrew, I never knew you were a Zoho customer before you became an employee. That's an interesting piece of information. Do you want to tell us more about that?
Yes, so I've been using Zoho for more than 3 years in my business, and it allowed me to actually have staff work from home. So I was able to then reduce the brick and mortar office space, which was obviously a big expense, and also parking bays are another expense for a business. And parking bays sometimes don't get used when you've got a big sales complement. Parking bays are only used maybe for a quarter of the day. So we decided to then take sales staff and put them to work from home, and we needed proper technology to do that. But we also needed technology that we could customize for the South African market, and that's where Zoho came in. Is that it was really cost effective. We could really customize and mold it to our business and our business needs. And the experience was great, and it still is. We're still a customer. The business still runs. I'm just not involved. I'm full time for Zoho now.
That is really amazing, Andrew. Thank you so much for your time, and thanks for sharing such valuable insights with us. And for those of you watching this video, if you want to reach out to Andrew to get any business consultation or tech consultation, you can reach out to him using the contact information displayed in this video. You can also participate in the survey that is pasted in the description box. You can tell us about the topics that you would like to hear from us and how we can add more value to you and your business. And you can also write to us at mia-solutions@zohocorp.com, which is again pasted in the description box below. So I guess we will see you the next time with another interesting episode. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and you take care, guys. Bye bye.